Dear participants of the conference, your attention is presented problems of artificial intelligence in construction. The authors of the study are Sergey Chekardovsky, Scientific Staff Departments of Engineering Systems and Structures, Industrial University of Tyumen, and Alexey Burtsev, Scientific Staff Department of Infrastructure Energy Systems, Southwest State University. The study presents the key aspects of the introduction and use of artificial intelligence, AI, in the construction industry. The challenges faced by builders when implementing AI, such as the high cost of equipment and the need for retraining, are discussed. The advantages of AI are also considered, including improving design efficiency, reducing costs, and improving control over construction processes. Special attention is paid to the use of AI in monitoring construction sites, risk forecasting, automation of typical operations, and the use of autonomous technology. The article emphasizes that despite the existing problems, AI is a powerful tool for the transformation of the construction industry, capable of significantly improving the quality and speed of construction. If we consider artificial intelligence as an evolving system with a mandatory multi-level process, we can assume success in achieving goals in construction. Presumably, in 120 years, all jobs will be automated. It sounds like a fantasy if you perform the main task, to increase the level of construction and the people who work in it. Leonid Zhukov, director of the Institute of Artificial Intelligence, argues that the level of the enterprise in this case should be highly technological. The shortage of specialists in this field only spurs demand, which increased by 74% in 2016 to 2019 for educational services. This circumstance raises the question of national security in a completely new way, and the emphasis on the elements of war is more clearly traced: political, economic, and informational. At the same time, human consciousness and his worldview are considered as instruments of military action. The ChatGPT-4 neural network, March 2023, is striking in its inaccessibility. The ability to communicate, multilingual translation, creation of codes, etc., does not beg for the fact that this happens during a special military operation and acutely raises the issue of international security. In the field of developing new technologies, artificial intelligence is already changing the overall environment, strengthening technological advantage in war conditions, political, economic, military, and information. This can act as a damaging factor on a person's consciousness and worldview. In this case, the solution of the following tasks is proposed, presented in Figure 1. But digitalization has been chosen by the state as one of the priority directions for the development of industries and enterprises, taking into account the effectiveness of digital transformation. As a result of the application of general scientific methods at enterprises of the oil and gas industry, analysis, synthesis, specification, expert assessments, the Golden Square method, their effectiveness has been proven for use in construction. The method proposed for the enterprise to solve the problems of managing an industrial enterprise in the context of digital transformation provided a way to eliminate threats and risks to the sustainable development of an industrial enterprise. This method will further allow us to objectively consider the process of situational management of the construction complex and adapt the developed tools in accordance with the identified features of business processes. Tasks: 1. Description of the problems of IC in modern conditions. 2. Analysis of the application of the Golden Square method in the context of digitalization of the UK, focused on managing complex situations. 3. Development of a classifier of threats and risks for the UK in difficult situations from the point of view of sustainable development. The construction complex, implementing a digitalization strategy, does not yet fully correspond to the level of digital maturity. As the author of the article found out, the main problem of digital transformation remains not understanding that the strategy itself cannot ensure the sustainability of a construction company in the future. And most likely, it is necessary to understand the technological and digital processes that are taking place, and unfortunately there are not so many such specialists at the enterprise. Standardization and unification of control and diagnostics in construction using a risk-based approach can solve a number of problems of falsification of industrial safety examinations. To solve systemic problems due to the deterioration of equipment funds, lack of funds for the development of diagnostic methods and tools, lack of timely proposals for planning and implementing effective measures, a comprehensive program for the development of a unified information space for the construction complex is prioritized. For example, according to Gaztech expert, the annual effect in Russia from the implementation of the Industry 4.0 program by 2025 may amount to 4.1 trillion rubles. Figure 2, adjusted for the share of Russia's GDP, shows the calculated effect on the total GDP of developing countries. A person's desire to learn how to control chaotic systems comes from an inner desire to control their cognitive abilities. From the standpoint of methodological consciousness and the acquisition of methodological knowledge, the researcher forms his own consciousness, and it is individual and subjective for each person. Basically, the processing of scientific methods is carried out on the basis of personal, group and historical experience. Immersion in the modern problems of the science of consciousness and the methodology of science can only orient cognitive activity in the direction of science. Mind, intelligence, as a relative category in different periods of mankind exists only until the period when there are developed criteria assessments. The change of the period entails a new look at what is happening and a new criteria assessment. The golden square technique contains a category of sensitivity that reacts to changing environmental conditions, which makes it a higher priority than others, for different periods. For this purpose, we use the principle of the golden section of the segment and the golden rectangle to build a golden square, figure 3, with the division of the sides according to the principle of the golden section. A block diagram for constructing the golden square of the ABC with the division of the sides according to the principle of the golden section and the golden rectangle is shown in figure 4. Achieving the maximum efficiency of the targeted functioning of all systems and branches of the national economy should presumably ensure the maximum achievement of the goals of processes and purposeful systems. But to date, the maximum development of the system according to the results of the criterion assessment is far from ideal. In conclusion, artificial intelligence in construction opens up new horizons for improving efficiency and optimizing processes. From BIM technologies to autonomous robots and drones, and is becoming an integral part of the modern construction industry. However, despite all the advantages, there are also challenges, such as the high cost of equipment and the need for retraining. Nevertheless, the potential of AI in construction is huge, and its implementation promises significant improvements in the quality, speed, and safety of construction work. Thanks for your attention.